Human memory is a complex brain-wide process essential to our survival. In the simplest terms, however, memory is our brain's ability to retain information. It is not a secret that human memory deteriorates over the years. Memory deterioration is the reason for humans making art, writing books, letters, or diaries. It was the chosen way to pass on knowledge to future generations. But what if I told you that our memory's reliance is questionable, even at a young age, and the future may call for different methods of memory preservation? In contemporary society, an issue has arisen. One, even the best of scientists can't fully grasp. False memories. A false memory is a fabricated or distorted recollection of an event. While some of them are completely imaginary, they may include particles of the truth. Examples of this phenomenon are quite widespread, ranging from being shrouded locked the door to making up elaborate stories. But how does this differ from a simple memory error? Well, a false memory requires a certain amount of conviction in the validity of it. They are not a result of intentional lying, but are rather often formed unconsciously due to various psychological factors. But what exactly are those factors? So far, scientists have been able to identify a few possible causes. Most false memories are connected with misinformation. Imagine remembering an event so vividly, only to find out it never actually happened. Well, that was true for participants of a study carried out by Elizabeth Loftus and the students of the University of Washington in the 90s. These psychologists conducted an experiment asking a group of 24 people, ranging from 18 to 53, to recall a memory from their childhood, specifically getting lost in the mall. The catch was, however, that the event never actually occurred. Despite this, after their parents confirmed the story and the psychologists questioned them about it, the participants were able to fabricate the memory, often with surprising attention to detail. This experiment serves as a clear example of how misinformation can lead to the creation of false memories, highlighting the ease with which humans can be influenced to recall events that never took place. Did you know that even the slightest of suggestions can impact our memories? This is an example of suggestibility, the tendency to change our ideas or beliefs on the basis of somebody's influence, is present while asking questions. Let me demonstrate. Asking how fast was the car going when it crashed into the truck implies the accident was severe, while asking how fast was the car going when it bumped into the truck doesn't convey the same message. In addition, suggestive comments from peers or authoritative figures can make a recollection of an event foggy or even add new details to it. Repeated suggestions of a plausible yet false memory can lead to us adapting it as our own. A similar mechanism takes place in group settings, where collective memory may take precedence over your own. Most people tend to conform their version of events to align with the majority, especially when in highly stressful situations. Most common uses of suggestibility include manipulating eyewitness testimonies and lawyers eliciting false ones by asking the right questions and putting pressure on the witnesses. Now that we have covered the aspects responsible for false memories, let's jump into who is most likely to be affected. Elderly people or those suffering from dementia are quite obviously most vulnerable. But who else? While it might seem surprising, children are also highly susceptible to false memories. When you were a child and your mom told you something, I guarantee you did not question whether it was true or false. Children are still learning to store and process information, which leads to many inaccuracies. Biased people are inclined to recount an event in a way that aligns with their views. What is more, some of them may even alter past events to match the outcome. People with a strong political bias are inclined to remember an argument or debate differently as to how it actually occurred, owing to that bias. Victims of trauma suffering from PTSD may not fully remember the incident, leading to their brain trying to fill in the gaps to make sense of it. The last group of people prone to false memory are those relying on the media. Rarely do we consider how much truth is presented by them. On top of that, they use a framing technique to sway your perception. It is quite similar to the suggestibility I suggested earlier. It is the way news is presented, hoping to evoke a specific reaction or a particular interpretation. But how do these false memories impact real life situations? While it might sound like something out of a science fiction novel, false memories have daunting but factual implications. Let's explore how they affect criminal justice. False memories owed to demanding courtroom conditions and suggestibility have led many eyewitnesses to give false testimonies, resulting in wrongful convictions. They can have life-altering consequences for the sentenced individual. On the bright side, however, they have helped drum up support for the usage of DNA testing and are the primary advocate for moving towards AI as the preeminent tool of retaining information. Studies show that trauma survivors have prevalence when it comes to memory distortion. False memories take part in developing Stockholm Syndrome, a psychological phenomenon where hostages develop affection for their captors. Their brains may choose to make up memories in order to justify such actions. Similarly to Stockholm Syndrome, abuse victims may repress memories or altogether change them by virtue of the emotional and physical trauma inflicted upon them. While therapy is meant to be a safe space for healing, it raises complex ethical questions when therapists influence their clients' memories. In some cases, therapists may lead the conversation in ways or suggest certain details that clients later come to believe are part of their own lived experience. Research has consistently shown that using certain therapeutic techniques such as hypnosis, guided imagery, or prompting clients to remember can significantly increase the risk of clients developing false memories. Despite therapy being an environment rooted in trust and vulnerability, the client's innate desire to be understood or validated plays a paramount role in shaping their recollections. In their eagerness to make sense of their past, or sometimes even to please their therapist, clients may begin to weave memories with the suggestions they've been exposed to, effectively blurring the lines between reality and false memories. After carefully examining false memories and the science behind them, let's jump into the experiments that show just how powerful they can be. Elizabeth Loftus is a leading expert on memory, who has done most of the research on false memory to this day. One of her experiments shows the ripple effects of planning memories. Something as simple as planning a memory of getting sick after eating a certain food led to the participants not wanting to eat it anymore. And while you might think it seems trivial in impact, just imagine what planning a complex memory can do and the threats it possesses. I can speak with conviction when I say that all of us at some point have been victims of false memories. Many of you may have heard of the Mandela effect, which is closely associated with them. It was first discovered in 2009 when Fiona Broom, along with a large group of people, believed Nelson Mandela died in the 80s. It is a type of false memory referring to a situation where a mass of people incorrectly remember the same thing. A few examples you may have heard of include the cornucopia and the Fruit of the Loom logo, or the infamous rubber emoji. These incidents are not solitary or foreign, especially with the rapid development of media, where increasingly more and more people are finding out they have fallen prey to false memories. Ultimately, we must recognize that false memories can have profound consequences, not just on individual experiences, but also on the therapeutic and legal fields. So the next time we recall an event, take a step back and consider how much truth is really in it. As for all we know, the entirety of our memories could be false or deliberately planned. Thank you.